had always believed our marriage was strong. 7 years of shared life, laughter, challenges, and love had forged a bond I thought unbreakable. My wife, Hannah, and I had weathered difficult times together, supported each other through career changes, family crises, and the everyday chaos of life. So, when our 7th anniversary was approaching, I felt a mix of excitement and gratitude. I wanted it to be special, a celebration of what we had built together. But a week before our anniversary, something happened that shattered the sense of security I had taken for granted. I was tidying up the living room when my eyes landed on Hannah's phone, which she had absentmindedly left on the couch. I don't know why I picked it up, maybe curiosity, maybe intuition, but when I unlocked it to return it to its place, my heart sank. There were messages, private messages, from another man. At first, I tried to convince myself it was nothing, an old friend reaching out. Harmless chatter, but as I scrolled, the words became impossible to dismiss. Flirtatious, intimate, secretive. Mentions of meetings, secret conversations, and expressions of affection that should have been reserved for me. I felt a wave of disbelief, followed by anger and hurt so sharp it took my breath away. The betrayal was right there, in plain sight, hidden behind the screen she had so carefully guarded. All the trust I had placed in her, all the moments of vulnerability we had shared, felt like they had been manipulated. I confronted her the next morning, trying to keep my voice steady despite the storm inside me. "Hannah," I said, "I found the messages. I need you to tell me the truth. Who is he, and what's going on?" She froze, her face blanching. For a moment, she seemed caught between panic and defiance. It's not what you think," she stammered, reaching for the phone. "I can explain." But I shook my head, keeping her at a distance. "I don't need excuses. I need honesty. This isn't just about messages, it's about trust, commitment, and the vows we made to each other. You're hiding something from me, and I deserve to know the truth." Hannah hesitated, then finally admitted it. She had been communicating with another man for several months, keeping the exchanges secret, claiming they were harmless at first, but eventually revealing a level of intimacy that went far beyond friendship. She tried to rationalize it, saying she felt neglected, that the excitement had drawn her in, that she hadn't meant to hurt me. But her words were a poor salve for the wound inflicted by her betrayal. I felt a mixture of emotions, anger, disbelief, heartbreak, and a profound sense of loss. The timing right before our anniversary made it sting even more. She had been planning a celebration of our years together while simultaneously betraying me. The duplicity was staggering. The days that followed were tense and emotionally draining. I sought counsel from friends, family, and even a therapist, trying to navigate the complex feelings of betrayal. I had to decide how to respond, not out of vengeance, but out of self-respect and the need for clarity. Eventually, I confronted Hannah again, this time armed with facts, dates, and messages that documented the extent of her deception. I demanded transparency, accountability, and a clear explanation of her actions. She offered apologies, promises, and explanations, but the damage was done. Trust, once broken, cannot be fully restored through words alone. I realized that the betrayal went beyond the messages themselves. It was the secrecy, the manipulation, the deliberate concealment that had corroded the foundation of our marriage. The relationship we had built on honesty and mutual respect was compromised, and I could no longer ignore the reality of the situation. After careful reflection, I made the difficult decision to separate. It wasn't immediate. It required legal consultations, emotional preparation, and ensuring the well-being of both of us and our children. But I knew that continuing in a relationship where trust had been violated so profoundly would be impossible. Hannah reacted with a mixture of guilt, anger, and disbelief. She attempted to salvage the marriage, promising to cut off all contact, to attend counseling, and to rebuild trust. I considered her efforts, but the breach was too significant, the betrayal too personal, to overlook. My self-respect and emotional health required action. In the weeks following the separation, I focused on rebuilding my life. Therapy helped me process the grief and anger, allowing me to understand that betrayal is not a reflection of my worth, but of the choices of the other person. Friends and family provided unwavering support, reminding me that I was not alone and that healing, though difficult, was possible. The experience also forced me to examine patterns, intuition, and the subtle signs I had overlooked. The stolen moments, the secretive behavior, the small lies, all had been indicators that something was wrong. Trusting one's instincts, I realized, is as important as confronting the evidence. Months later, the dust settled and clarity emerged. I had regained a sense of control, dignity, and perspective. While the marriage ended, the lessons endured. Trust is precious. Communication is essential, and betrayal, though painful, can illuminate the values and boundaries necessary for healthy relationships. Hannah faced the consequences of her actions as well. The secrecy, the lies, and the betrayal affected her credibility, relationships, and social standing. The messages she had thought were private became the instruments of truth, ensuring accountability and the exposure of deception. Reflecting on the ordeal, I recognized several key lessons. First, betrayal often hides in the mundane, in small secrets and unguarded moments. Second, confronting deception requires courage, evidence, and clarity. Third, protecting oneself and maintaining personal integrity is paramount, even when emotions run high. In the end, what began as a normal week leading up to our anniversary became a turning point. The discovery of the messages forced me to reevaluate my marriage, my values, and my boundaries. It transformed betrayal into a catalyst for self-respect, empowerment, and the pursuit of relationships founded on honesty and loyalty. Though painful, the experience taught me resilience. I learned to trust my instincts, to demand transparency, and to uphold my principles regardless of emotional pressure. The betrayal, while devastating, ultimately clarified what I would accept in relationships, what I would not compromise, and how I would protect myself in the future. Hannah's betrayal, exposed at the most inopportune moment, reinforced a timeless truth: deceit, no matter how carefully concealed, eventually emerges. Standing firm, seeking evidence, and confronting the truth decisively are essential for preserving self-respect and emotional well-being. By facing the reality of her actions, I reclaimed agency over my life. The stolen moments, hidden messages, and secret exchanges could no longer define my marriage or dictate my choices. Instead, they became a turning point, a painful but necessary awakening to the realities of trust, betrayal, and the strength required to respond with dignity and clarity. Months later, I look back on that discovery with a mixture of sorrow and gratitude. Sorrow for the betrayal and the loss of what I had believed was secure. Gratitude for the clarity, for the support of loved ones, and for the opportunity to rebuild my life with insight, boundaries, and an unwavering commitment to honesty in all future relationships. The story stands as a testament to the destructive power of secrecy and betrayal, but also to the resilience of those who confront it. The discovery of the hidden messages was not just a revelation of infidelity, it was a wake-up call, a test of character, and ultimately a path to empowerment and self-preservation.